in the country, and he was the most attacked.
So DeSantis did well in not the first, but he did well in reopening things back up.
But what policies do you like generally about him? I mean, besides the COVID stuff, what are the other policies like as governor? I mean, you think it's just the state legislature that's putting together these anti? I mean, look,
think it's mostly
Tim,
them.
You said that there was a grooming event happening at Club Q, and that was after the shooting, right? Which is essentially kind of saying, well, look, they had it coming a little bit. I mean, no. you didn't say that, but that's the implication.
I actually said, how do we prevent these things from happening? If people, so I tweeted.
So you actually seem pretty aligned with DeSantis on the anti.
But I don't think
how do we do this thing?
The Florida legislature, and if DeSantis becomes president, you think Congress is going to vote for any of these things? As for the Club Q thing, I said, if people keep saying wood chippers, what did you think was going to happen, right? I am saying, stop saying these things.
Saying what?
People keep going online and going, wood chippers, wood chippers, wood chippers. You know what that means, right?
For who, though?
For groomers.
Right, okay.
And I'm like, what do you think is going to happen if you go online and keep calling for death? Like, don't do that. Stop that, right? We want to stop child abuse. We want to stop violence.
Oh, I just realized I'm so fucking dumb. Fuck. I should have, like, left Firo as a lower level or whatever. Not good. Not good. Not good. I mean, hopefully we get like Pidgeot or some shit that I'm never gonna use, like Xbot or something. I mean, not hopefully, but like hopefully. Like we don't actually want it, but like if we get it, it's like good for this reason. I could also use Wailord, which like I don't think I've ever used Wailord for fucking Taint Liza split, but I might have to this time around because of how little encounters I actually have. We're bleeding. We're bleeding, boys. We're not doing too well. I ain't gonna lie. I could have literally just stalled that guy out of his shit yesterday and prevented all 3 of these deaths. Steelix was probably preventable. I don't really know. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Roselia, I don't give a fuck about. But yeah, these 3 deaths are like 100% just like bad human error mistake. But we get, I think, how many more encounters? It's like Pyre, 123, Safari. I might get Lilycove today. Yeah, so it's like 4 encounters. Yeah, we'll delay 123, obviously. We'll delay 122, obviously. Unless we get Ghastly and Pyre, then I'll get 122. But that's like a 20% chance. But yeah.
That's what we want.
So that's why I hope you have dedicated so much of your program to talking about the Catholic Church. Because that is the institution in this country right now that is most associated with child abuse.
Hands down.
Queer people, gay people,
I
trans
think
people,
there's
that is not a
right?
thing. What is your definition of child abuse?
They're most associated, but they're actually not more abusive than any other religious institution, and they're not nearly as abusive as.
But no, I want to stay on this, and I also just
where are the books at? Where did they get moved to?
Tim, what policies about DeSantis do you like in terms of what he's running on for president?
Culture war stuff mostly, but I think COVID policy was
plug
good.
for the show.
Oh yeah.
Right, but what's the culture war stuff that you like?
So, yes, but the reason why I've not been... So last year I was like, I think DeSantis is probably better for one simple reason.
No, what stuff do you like now? What do you like that he's running on?
Yeah, culture war stuff, predominantly.
But can you expand on that notion?
I think... You want me to, like, pull up specific...
I mean, I don't know. It's like you said that you like certain things, that you're leaning more towards Trump because of AI images. I would have hoped that there's a little bit more substance to your disagreement.
Well, but every time I try and bring it up, you just ask me the same question again.
Because you're not answering my question.
I'm trying to.
Okay, go ahead.
So, now where was I before you jumped back in? First, the culture war stuff is obvious, right? Parental rights and education bill, yes.
She was getting dunked on the church stuff, so she abandoned it? No, it's that she's... Something that people do, I used to do this a long time ago, to be fair, but like something that people do is you argue with somebody, you don't really know their positions, but you think they have a bunch of positions, and then you try to attack them on a ton of things you think they believe, but then what happens is you run into something that they don't believe, and then you're like, oh shit. So like in her mind, she probably thinks that Tim Pool is like a super rabid conservative. He's going to defend everything related to religion, so she's going to bring up the Catholic Church hoping that he wants to fight over that. But he doesn't. I don't even think he's religious. Tim's probably not going to defend anything the Catholic Church is doing. He's probably going to be just as condemning of the Catholic Church as as she is, if not more. So it's kind of like a dead end attack. I think that's the issue that you're running into there. Is that a straw man? No, it's not really a straw man. I mean, like, technically there's nothing wrong with it if you try to do an attack or you talk about an issue expecting them to have one position and then they jump off of it. There's not really anything wrong, but that's probably what was going on there. Am I buying, like, quest items? Okay. Let me use this real quick. Hold on 1 second.
That one's fairly obvious. I don't know about the Disney stuff. That's kind of absurd. What I was going to say is, let's go back in time to why I said I was for Ron DeSantis in the first place and why where I'm at now is not. The first thing was last year, I was having a conversation with the Daily Wire crew, and I said Trump is brash. Many people don't like him.
Her point wasn't that Tim isn't anti-religious, it's that all of his content points to anti-trans. He may say it doesn't agree with the Catholic Church, but how many of his videos are dedicated to opposing trans people? Well, sure, but she should have asked that then, right? She didn't ask that. She could focus on that, like, listen, like, how many, if I go and search your channel right now, am I gonna find more stuff attacking trans people or attacking the church, right? But I don't think she's done that. Or she hasn't asked that particular question. She kind of hinted at it, I think, a little bit in the beginning, but she hasn't, like, asked, like, that would be the specific thing you should probably hammer home, right?
And he won't shut up about 2020. He's a sore loser. Ron DeSantis, at the very least, is dry and can get us something better than, say, Joe Biden.
I know, but I'm still not really hearing a specific policy.
Right, so his COVID policy was correct. Okay.
Wait, but you just said something with the beaches that you don't like the closure.
You can bring it over.
Like his presidential platform. Like,
what are the things?
Wait, how do I use a jeweler's tools?
So you're.
I've not been on his. I've not been on board with him. So we can look at what happened.
And you said parental rights. I'm curious what you mean by that.
Yeah, like
I'm in favor of parental rights, right? Like, I want parents to be able to, if their child is transitioning, to be able to work with their doctor with a plan and make sure that children are not being driven to suicidal ideation and that parents aren't restricted by the state. Let's talk about one of his policies. Okay, go ahead. I don't want parents to be restricted from the state from giving health care to their children.
If I open this book on YouTube, the stream will get taken down.
Okay.
Did you ever read this book?
No.
This book is in middle schools in Florida. Ron DeSantis had it removed. That's one simple policy he did. That's very good. You've never seen this book?
I've heard about it.
Have you ever looked inside it?
Why the fuck is Brock in there?
Obsessed with this book. I feel like barely anybody, like kids in school, have ever fucking read this book before.
No, but I mean, I don't believe in censorship.
If I show you a picture of a blowjob, would you be offended?
I mean,
can I show you a picture of a blowjob?
I wouldn't be offended. I mean, I think that, honestly, do you know, Tim, that the more children learn about sexual education in the way that's productive and done in schools,
I think it's
the less likely they are to be sexually abused because they know what is good and what is bad.
I can't show this image on YouTube.
Do you hear me? I don't know about that.
So I think
the more children
the issue
learn
is
about sexual education, the less likely they are to be victims of pedophilia and rape.
I think the issue is you're confusing sexual education with kink. Right? So I'm looking at this right now. I can't even hold it up because I can't point it at the camera. And I don't understand why school children should be taught how to perform blowjobs for an autoandrophile.
I don't believe they're being taught that.
Why was this book
banned? I don't really know. Again,
Amazon
because this is another case-by-case example.
No. You asked me about what Ron DeSantis did.
Censorship.
You asked me what Ron DeSantis did that I liked.
That he banned genderqueer?
That he's removing pornographic and kink books from middle schools is a very, very good one. And I would.
Well, for me, my politics are a little broader than that, Tim. I gotta say.
So, listen. If your argument to me is that I or anyone else should support your politics because you want to show blowjobs to children, you're going to lose.
Well, I don't think that is a policy done by teachers in this country. I think that this
book was in schools in Florida, which is why
there are a ton of books that are in a ton of schools. I don't believe in censorship. That's not my bag, buddy.
So you think children should have Playboy?
I don't really think so. No, because that's pornography.
Wait, why is she saying she doesn't believe in censorship? This is like such a weird fucking thing. I don't believe in censorship. It's literally like, I don't know. I don't get it. What does she mean? I don't believe in censorship, bro. Okay. So the thing, what are we doing here? I think I usually have like Donphan kill the Heracross, and you kill it with you do like head smash into Earthquake so that you never bait switch AI into switching into the Gengar. Oh wait, you could switch. He could switch to Magneton from Head Smash. Could he switch to Magneton from Endeavor? Probably, right? Yeah. Fuck. Can I chip it with something else? If I remember correctly, this like whole team just gets kind of owned by like Tentacruel. Like you switch in Tentacruel on HP Water into Magneton and you bait Dugtrio. And then you bait Gengar and you kill Gengar as well. Like it's kind of crazy. Like you just get to 63 and you just kill all three of these guys because you're in the rain. And then you get to Cloyster and Cloyster cannot boom. But the biggest thing is like getting this chip on this Heracross here. And you have to basically do something that there was no resistances to it. I'm pretty fucking sure that he could just go to here, let's think about this. So Heracross, Cool Trainer Jerome. Cool Trainer Jerome. Yeah, losing almost really fucking blows, I can't even lie. Yeah, but if he gets Quick Claw, Rock Slide, Flinch, then we're just in like kind of a shit area. Bit annoying. Golem's gonna be the exact same switch AI. Ooh, the super effective Brick Break. Not good. I mean, I could literally fake out. Not even. I'll just, like, Shadow Punch. Why does Shadow Punch do more damage? Oh, because Bug resists fighting. And nobody even has a super effective move against Tari, right? Except for Gengar, which is... Well, he doesn't have one. Does it see Hypnosis? Like, could it switch to it because it's a Psychic type move? I actually don't even know how that works. But yeah, and then we would just switch to Mence. We would get an Intimidate in. So we lead this guy. We do this, and then who's killing Cloyster? We do that, we do that. Yeah, we're killing him with Head Smash. We're going to get an Intimidate in. Who kills Cloyster? Probably like Lantern, right? Yeah. I guess just bring Gyarados because why the fuck not? We'll Priestly Lantern. Or, I mean, we'll just Priestly everybody. Fuck, I need a shave, man. I hate having stubble on my face. It feels like shit. I also need to nickname some of these guys. I think I forgot to nickname Zangoose and Fira. I just want to double check that Tentacruel outspeeds Dugtrio. These Shokes were like insanely overleveled. Yeah, we're fine. Okay.
So you think a blowjob?
You're in favor of censorship.
Yes,
you are.
Absolutely.
Tim is gonna own these points. You're not. She's used to debating like, yeah. She thinks that Tim is just a bog standard conservative, and he's not really. I'd say he has like a populist / anti-establishment bent. He's not a bog standard conservative though. But she thinks she's gonna get these big owns. And I'm like, oh, you're pro censorship. Like, yeah, duh. I want to censor things that I think harm children. But like most people are probably gonna say that. She's not gonna find any big owns here trying to attack on this point.
Oh, that's good to know.
If you watched the show, you'd know this.
Oh, you're okay. You're
we
pro
talk
censorship.
about how we're
I am not. I want children to be able to have all the information that they need in order to
including pornography.
No, that's not pornography.
we backup record everything, and
recording.
I think we're back.
We are back.
Whoa.
Okay. It's pretty stormy out.
It broke your saucer,
it's stormy
too.
Yeah, I mean, it's rainy. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're live again.
Okay.
There we go. We're back.
Yes.
So the power just
went
fluctuated.
out. Yeah. That was God striking you down.
That was
Tim.
the YouTube
striking me down. You're the one arguing for.
You're the one arguing for censorship.
Yes.
I mean, I don't really mind that stuff. I mean, are you in favor of children seeing violence on television?
No.
That scares me a little bit more.
It depends. It's not so simple to say violence, right? But yes, censorship is a good thing. But
I don't know. Which one is worse? Violence on television? I guess it depends, like, how deep into it you are. That's, like, kind of how it is with both of them, right? Like, if it's just, like, movie violence, honestly, most of the shit they're putting in movies isn't really even that graphic or whatever, so it's probably not even that big of a deal. But, like, you could say the same shit about, like, porn or whatever. Like, if it's just, like, vanilla sex and stuff, like, I don't know, is it really that bad for, like, middle schoolers to, like, learn about some of this stuff? Like, I don't know, man. I feel like middle schoolers are, like... Grade school is fucking weird. Middle school is, like, a whole different ball game because kids are actually interested in it at that age because they're starting to go through puberty. Like, I think that one's kind of hard to say, like... This is 100%, like, not good for people. This should be wheezing just based on, thingy. So I think I just do Kingdra and, like, kill everybody with Kingdra, probably. This is fine, yeah, because we never even die here. And we'll equip, I'll equip Cherry Berry just in case it sees the overlap. Because that's the only thing that matters. And then Scizor can also die to this guy, probably. Wow, Scizor is bulky, man. Holy shit. Like, he doesn't die to one surf. In the rain. I mean, Weezing's also bulky. But, like, I overlevel him by 11 levels. Kind of crazy with it. I should probably be doing Nurse Joy here. But like the thing is, like taking the books away from kids for some of these situations as well is just like, bro, honestly, a lot of parents just like never talk to their kids about sex at all, and like sometimes having like a resource in a library like that is like the only fucking exposure they're gonna like have to any of this shit. And if not, it like arguably a book in a library, actually, like probably 99% of the time, a book in a library is going to be a way better source than like some rando on fucking Twitter telling your kid about blowjobs or some shit. Absolutely. That is 100% fucking true. Like, that's just like going to happen. So I don't know. I think some of this shit is like kind of cat. Like if you like actually think about it for like 2 seconds, it's like really fucking stupid to... It's not a censorship thing, though. I don't know why she's, like, so hell-bent on the censorship thing. But... Okay, Ninja Boy. He's hiding in this tree here. Yeah, we're just Kingdra all day, every day. Sludge Bomb, okay. Scizor... Or wait, we get one in? What is this crit risk? 105. Okay. I don't even need to because I had speed, but we're just doing it anyway. It doesn't matter. This is why I hate Porta PC. Like, I don't know. It's just like, you have to sit here, you fucking Nurse Joy every time. I guess it doesn't take that long. It's like an extra tab you have to have open, though.
When done bad, is a bad thing.
Yeah.
For instance, Ian Crossland, who is a co-host on Timcast IRL, used to be a moderator for Minds.com, and he had to filter out graphic depictions of murder and rape and child abuse.
Murder.
Censorship is absolutely vital
no.
in that regard. So
cool.
if we're talking about a book like, in particular, there was one called, there's a teacher who provided a book to her middle schoolers called This Book is Gay. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have heard. That's actually a very good book.
And it provides instruction on she provided instruction to children on how to use adult gay anonymous sex apps. Yeah, I don't think that's appropriate. Now look, by all means, you can be in favor of them.
Maybe she had a child.
I just hate how they always refer to them as children, dude. Like, how old are these people?
Maybe.
Wait, did he say adult sex apps? Are we going back? Hello? What's going on?
A conservative, and he's not really. I'd say he
has
like
we went way too far back. Oh, but like the picture-in-pictures?
Oh, that's good to know.
If you watched the show, you'd know this.
Oh, you're okay. You're
we
pro
talk
censorship.
about how we're
I am not.
Right.
I want children to be able to have all the information that they need in order to
including pornography.
No, that's not pornography.
We backup record everything, and
We're still recording.
I think we're back.
We are back.
Whoa.
Oh,
okay.
It's pretty stormy out.
It broke your
It's
saucer
stormy?
too.
Yeah, I mean it's
rainy.
rainy. Yeah.
Okay, I think we're live again.
Okay.
I got us a better
There
type
we go,
matchup
we're
against Furret,
Yes.
so we should be able to just
Power
get
just
Furret
came
in
out, yeah.
here, and we should...
That was
have-
God
we
striking
actually...
you down.
That was the
saying-
YouTube
Striking me down. You're the one arguing for.
You're the one
you go.
arguing for censorship.
Yes.
I mean, I don't really mind that stuff. I mean, are you in favor of children seeing violence on television?
No.
That scares me a little bit more.
It depends. It's not so simple to say violence, right? But yes, censorship is a good thing, but when done bad, is a bad thing.
Yeah.
For instance, Ian Crossland, who is a co-host on Timcast IRL, used to be a moderator for Minds.com, and he had to filter out graphic depictions of murder and rape and child abuse.
Oh, I'm
Censorship
looking at
is
the
absolutely vital in that regard. So if we're talking about a book like, in particular, there was one
I was like,
called,
why does this guy
there's
have
a
an
teacher
early bird? What are you
who
talking
provided a
about?
book to her middle schoolers called This Book is Gay. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I have heard. That's actually a very good book.
And it provides instruction on she provided instruction to children on how to use adult gay anonymous sex apps. Yeah, I don't think that's appropriate. Now look, by all means, you can be in favor of them.
Maybe she had a child. Maybe.
Adult gay anonymous sex apps? I mean, yeah, it's like kind of weird to be like telling kids how to get onto like if you're talking about like fucking middle school like 12-year-olds going on Bumble, yeah, no, that's like unacceptable. That's really fucking weird. Like telling kids that they ought to do that or whatever, yeah, it's hella weird. but like talking to kids about sex isn't the worst thing in the world.
Maybe she had a child in her classroom
who wanted to go on Grindr and have sex with adults? Is that your argument?
No, I mean, I'm not saying that. First of all, I don't know. Again, this is
another... Why would a 10-year-old need Grindr?
This is the thing that you do, though, Tim.
Yeah, for
okay.
Sure.
57 minutes, guys. Remember where we're at in this, okay? We're at 57 minutes.
Do though, Tim.
Oh, that
You're
I do.
picking specific examples that
you
are inflammatory.
You asked me for one.
Okay, then go ahead. I
did. We have the book.
Yeah, I'm
I said don't show children blowjobs.
Look,
you said you appreciate
I'm not in favor of censorship. I'm not in favor
as an
of censorship.
objective observer that's sitting here, you asked for a specific example, he gave it to you, and then you try to say he's broadly in favor of censorship.
Yeah.
It's possibly to make a hypocrisy point later on when he complains about social media censorship or something like that.
No,
but
I
it's
just...
like he's talking about this specific issue, and I remember I was working on an education series about this kind of thing years before it was popular. Yes, I was ahead of my time. And yeah, these kind of things were popping up all over schools, and I am happy that DeSantis is like doing something.
We
about
had
it.
Asra Nomani on the show. She brought in, I think, like 70 books of all of the weird racist indoctrination and sex stuff that they're bringing in schools.
Yeah.
And I said, look, man, it's really simple for me. If someone comes to me and says that they think this book, which Amazon says is 18 up only, should be given to children, I'll say, I will vote against you.
So should the Bible be banned from schools because it depicts sexual acts?
From schools, public schools.
The Bible probably is not appropriate for children for a lot of reasons. And I am not a Christian, so I don't
He's not a Christian. I don't think he would give a fuck about
particularly care about whether or not they're going to give a book to children that has something like Deuteronomy 23:20 in it. I don't think kids should be reading that kind of stuff.
Okay.
However, I'm in favor of the parents deciding when it is appropriate for their kids, which comes with very difficult moral questions in that my morality is different from the morality of each individual parent. So that's why I'm kind of like, the government probably shouldn't be the one doing it.
Have you had an expert on sexual education on your program to talk about this kind of stuff?
Yes.
Tenta owns this guy.
What did they say?
And
are you in favor of abstinence only?
No. It's been a very, very long time.
You're not in favor of abstinence only education.
I think abstinence only is.
So
silly.
you're kind of hinging on this book that has pornographic material in it that okay.
There's a difference between sex and kink. Right?
Okay, sure.
So the many individuals on the left have made arguments in favor of kink for kids, which is weird to me, and I think it's inappropriate. I think kids should learn about sex. I think the parents should decide when it's appropriate. This is why typically at schools they would give out notice to the parent.
Oh man, yeah, I don't really know how much I feel about that. They're like the parents have to decide or whatever. I'm not saying the school should, be like getting involved in that way. I don't know about that, especially in middle school. Definitely high school, there needs to be talk about it. Definitely high school. There ought to be shit in high school. I don't know about middle school, talking about condoms and all that shit. But definitely high school health class, absolutely, yeah. Kink, oh man, kink for kids just seems so weird, because, like, you've never even had sex before. Like, what the fuck what are you talking about? I think it's, like, a little bit too much. I think if you're, like, into kink stuff, you gotta just, like, I don't know, man. You gotta, like, find it on your own. I think it's weird to be, because you have to have realistic expectations of stuff established before you can like get involved in like BDSM kink shit. Like having your first like sexual experiences be like revolved around like fucking like DDLG or something is like really, when you're like 17, I don't know. It just like sounds really fucking bizarre to me. I feel like you need to be like older and more mature to be able to like handle a lot of that shit in a more like reasonable, like responsible manner, but maybe I'm wrong.
Parents like
Dungeons are the most efficient
sex
way.
ed. Here's the subjects we're going to cover.
Nothing's changed.
The
in that
issue
way.
with Florida was that they had a policy where they would not instruct
Okay, this
parents,
guy wants to thunder.
and actually were told not to talk to the parents if the kids were suffering identity issues. Now the state should not intervene and take away the rights of the parents in that in that way.
Wait, can you say that again? The state. What about gender identity issues?
So in Florida, what prompts a bill like this, and it also happened with stuff in like Nashville, was that the schools, and I think they do this in like Washington and Colorado, the schools were actually telling teachers not to talk to the parents if the children were having some kind of identity issue. And so this led to suicides.
No. What leads to suicides is that children are being told that they cannot operate and be who they are as the
Oh
gender
my
that is
God.
who they are in their heart. That's what's leading to
But
suicides.
Wait, she said gender? Bro, they're not talking about fucking gender identity. Why is she saying that?
About one specific. Well, I think it's like
Again, you're talking about one specific example. I'm talking about
you
broader,
can't ask
broader.
me for like.
I talk about politics, Tim. I don't talk about
Well,
anecdotes.
he's talking about policy that they would not.
You asked me
disclose
what
gender
policy
talking
was.
to
about
the
school
parents.
district policy. I
Okay.
cover national
You asked me to.
politics. Yeah, all right.
You can't ask me a
Yeah, I feel like she interrupts like a little bit too much.
question. Then when I explain where the policy came from, be like, no,
No,
that makes no
because
sense.
you go into
But you asked him about a
individual
state-level
anecdotes.
policy.
I'm telling you
talk
why
about-
the policy was written.
Okay, go ahead, Tim.
That's why the policy was written, because there were children who were having identity issues, and the schools
Wait.
were instructed. The teachers were told not to tell the parents. This led to, I think it was a suicide attempt.
Isn't this the one
parents
fight
got
that's
angry.
like not in the
Suicide.
rain?
A little girl tried to kill herself.
Okay, again, this is one case. Go
And,
ahead.
and there was also another, right. I'm not talking about, look at this
Right.
anecdote, let's set policy. I'm saying Florida set a law because.
Right.
Okay? I'm not saying I agree or disagree. I'm saying a thing led to a thing, right? Mm-hmm. My position is that parents should be fully informed about what's going on with their children, and teachers should not withhold that information
P2.
from them. It is not up to the state to decide what is best for the kid. There are certain
But the state
exceptions.
is deciding what is best for the kid in these instances. They
When-
are essentially saying that children. Take Florida, for example. You're talking about Florida. Let's
Mm-hmm.
talk about it. They're saying that children cannot, under the supervision of their doctor
Everybody has thunder,
and with
so
their
we're definitely
parental
not bringing
consent.
Gyarados.
None of this happens, by the way, without parental consent. It's illegal.
you're talking about-
They cannot
Hold
work
up.
with their doctor on a health care plan for them to transition into
But
their
I'm not
gender.
talking about that. I mean, you're talking about medical intervention. I'm talking
Right,
about
but you
like,
have spoken about this on
knowledge
this
about their
program
kid.
before.
Yeah, I think like if a doctor prescribed a lobotomy to a kid, the government should stop
It's
that
not
too.
a lobotomy. That's
I
not
didn't say,
what it is.
I'm saying that there are certain things in the medical world that we prohibited.
Right, but this is not what
it's one of
should.
them.
But the American
You
Journal.
disagree? You think it shouldn't be? I'm
No,
not arguing you're wrong.
every single expert that is reputable on this front.
The
disagrees.
steer
American
on
Journal of
cast form is
Pediatrics did a
probably
study
just,
about
like,
transitioning
fucking,
children. They studied them over 5 years.
Witch cash or something?
94% of the children continued
It shouldn't be that
to
difficult.
identify as the gender that they were choosing to identify
When
with.
placed
at
Or
the
it's still
beginning.
raining.
Then, yeah,
Wow.
yes.
When
And
placed on Lupron.
no, then the 6% that were remaining, 3.5%
Tenta. Oh, he fakes
identified
out.
as
That's fine.
cisgender. 2.5% went
Easy,
back,
okay.
yes, but
He
they were
wants to do
heavily
this.
weighted under the age of 10
We
years
wanna
old,
do
where
this.
they
Here's what I
never
was
had
talking
any medical intervention. This is how actually trans care actually goes, Tim. 8 to 13 years old, you're
This
put
guy
on
wants to
beta
ice
blockers.
beam.
Those are entirely reversible.
We do this.
Then after that,
I'm sorry.
that is
That's
100%
Thunder's fine,
that's
cherry.
100%
They're not
Then-
entirely
then
reversible.
16
to a certain degree,
then-
they can be.
Then why are they used in instances where
They're
someone
off-label
has
use.
puberty that
Precocious
Yeah, that's
puberty.
precocious.
Right,
puberty.
right, exactly.
no.
And there's a carve out for that in the Florida bill, by the way. So cis kids can have it, but trans kids can't.
Because that's
then
the primary
then
label.
16 years
That's the
old.
primary use of the drug.
Okay, but
But-
that's
but-
not what doctors say. No. Then 16 years old.
No.
16 years old. That's when hormones happen. Very, very, very rarely are there any surgeries under the age of 18. I don't hear you talking about rhinoplasties under the age of 18 on your
I've talked.
program.
We have.
Oh.
Maybe you haven't heard it because you don't watch the show.
Okay.
I've also said child beauty pageants are wrong and they're disgusting. I've also said Hooters is inappropriate for kids, and I said we shouldn't be giving minors any kind of cosmetic surgery. I don't even like tattoos or piercings. So when it comes
It's
to
quite puritanical of you, Tim. I'm surprised. You have a lot of
yes,
swords
I don't
and
think
beards
children.
and stuff in here.
I don't think children
Is
should
it-
make
okay.
should be altering their bodies.
But you just said parental rights. So if under 18, parents have to give consent for piercings and tattoos and
Do you think a
for
mom should have the
rhinoplasties.
right to remove the salivary glands of her child?
No. Are
the
you for
doctor
parental
prescribes
rights or not?
See, this is a.
Every right has limits.
What is actually interesting because what you're asking, we've actually talked in a great depth about on Timcast IRL. That
Are you
the-
for parental rights or not? I just asked.
that question right there leads in two different directions, which is again we've addressed. If you watched the show, you'd have heard the statement we've made about
Well,
it.
I heard you 5 minutes ago say you were
Right.
for parental rights, and now
Do
you're
it as a
saying you're
par-
not.
Where do parents' rights begin and where do they end is strictly a moral question based on the moral frameworks of an individual. If there is someone who goes to a
Wow.
doctor in, say, Saudi Arabia, and
Timothy.
the doctor prescribes female circumcision, they're going to argue it's the parents' rights. We would argue
Another
against that.
hypothetical. I'm
And-
talking
but-
about.
All right, so I need to can't leave without fly between the next two trainers. So I need to have like a party that has two, or I have to fly away or whatever, like in between them. So we're just gonna try to have two parties, especially because this first trainer is really fucking easy. The second trainer is also probably really easy just because of the level advantage, but Ranger Lorenzo.
But
reality.
these things literally do happen in other countries.
But it wouldn't
The
be a
point-
But I'm talking
boxer.
about this
It would-
country, and I'm
Right,
talking
and
about
so I'm
parental
making
rights.
a point, right? The point is the idea that parents have a right is limited to what our moral limits are. Meaning, if you morally are okay with a child sex change, then you're going to argue in favor of parents' rights. If I say you shouldn't be able to mandate vaccinations, you'd probably argue against the parents' right? Should a school be allowed to mandate vaccines for children?
Yes.
But what about the parents' rights? Are you for parents' rights?
Well, I'm for public health.
Would be really nice to have a dark side
So
here.
the question leads nowhere.
Oh, how is she so fucking stupid? I'm sorry. Jesus, how did she walk like so obviously into that trap? She just completely in one sentence totally illustrated what the point that Tim was trying to make. And Tim's philosophy is like shaky at best, but like Tim is 100% correct here. Like the rights that you are so carefully guiding or you're carefully guarding, in reality, you don't actually care about this particular right. Like parental rights, we kind of care about them, but not really. Parental rights tend to usually be a proxy for other types of things that we actually care about. So for instance, if you're saying like, I have the right to have my child get gender affirming care, or I have the right to teach my child a religion, in that case, somebody might say parental rights, parental rights, parental rights. You don't really care about like strict parental rights though. You just care about parental rights insofar as you can exercise some other moral value, right? I think parental rights are generally a proxy for things because all of us agree that there should be a restriction on some types of parental rights. For instance, removing random body parts. Like, oh, I want to take my kid's kidney and like sell it, you know, to some country. Like that, we probably shouldn't be allowed to do it, right? We all agree there's some reasonable restriction there. But parental rights in and of themselves don't get us very far. There's going to be some other like mitigating or limiting thing in terms of like what a parental right is allowed to be or not allowed to be, you know?
No, I mean, look, Tim, I've never made parental rights a plank of my own politics.
It sounded earlier like you literally did that, but maybe I'm not paying attention well enough. It sounded almost explicitly like that's what she did, because she kept saying over and over again, are you against parental rights? Are you against parental rights? Are you against parental rights? And now that Tim has given a clear objection to that, now she's like, well, hold on.
Hold up.
I'm saying this within the context of what you just said 5 minutes ago.
And I'm explaining.
Yes,
Parental
so
rights extends to my morality.
So, right, your morality says that you think that trans children and parents, even if they agree with their child and the doctor is supervising this kind of transition, you're essentially saying that you don't believe that they should have the power and ability and that the state should intervene. That sounds like big government to me.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know if you know who I am.
Well, okay, then there you go. That the state should intervene because you don't believe that parents should, and their children, they're in agreement.
So at first, my position was, early on, if the doctors are prescribing it and it's the best thing they can do, I think we're looking
It should pretty
at
much always
past
be
4 years,
fire
about
blast.
50,000
I think I
or
just
so
go back to
cases of
Kavatox
cross-sex
and kill
hormones
it.
for kids.
And we
So
just
be it. Then we
equip,
started seeing like the Tavistock scandal. We saw Finland, Denmark, Sweden start pulling this.
Frostberry,
The research coming out showed
and
that
then
it
we're
was
gone
not particularly
to
effective. And then we also had multiple
pre-sleep
studies
everybody.
showing that desistance rates
You know,
for
it's
those who
probably
did
not
not
really a
take
reason
any,
to,
who
but
did
we
not
should
receive
be
intervention
fine.
was actually upwards of 95%.
That's not a good, that desistance thing is not a good argument for not having trans care. If the desistance rate is high for people not on hormones, in a roundabout way, that actually probably shows the strength of the diagnostic process. It means that those kids probably should have never been on hormones, and they weren't. And a high number of them did desist.
Right?
That's
Yeah,
a good
okay.
thing. A high
Otherwise,
desistance
that
rate of
would've
people
been my encounter,
that
and I would've
aren't
ran
on
away from
hormones
it.
probably shows you've got
It
a
was
problem with your
121.
diagnostic process. That's
Now,
why when you're talking about
121 begins,
desistance rates or people that detransition, it's really important to look at people that have
with
started
with
the
a berry
treatment process.
patches.
My understanding is once kids have started, the desistance rate for that is like,
Sorry,
I want.
I interrupted our Lord Destiny.
Morality says that you think that trans children and parents, even if they agree with their child and the doctor is supervising this kind of transition, you're essentially saying that you don't believe that they should have the power and ability and that the state should intervene. That sounds like big government to me.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know if you know who I am.
Oh, okay, then here you go. That the state should intervene because you don't believe that parents should, and their children.
Shit, I forgot we weren't in the rain. He didn't drop me. He's gonna use Psychic. We just mud shot, and now we get the thing, and now we... Oh my god, Harrison. Holy shit, that was so fucking dumb, because that was also calculated in the rain. Okay. Harrison. Jesus Christ. My heart just fucking dropped. God damn, bro. No, that's not even in order. We just go directly to this guy, and then we pivot to, like... Wait, am I ever pivoting? I actually don't even know. Well, we'll take it slow so that I don't fuck it up. Wait, OJ Simpson outspeeds Ursaring? We speed tie Ursaring. Does it matter? No. We just Vital Throw. Facade, we don't care. This guy wants to use Psychic. Comatap surely outspeeds this guy, right? Yeah. Psychic, fine. X Scissor, outspeed Oko. For Alligator, he wants to use whatever. Doesn't really matter because we just Oko. Flareon wants to use Fire Move. The outspeed, kill with Rock Slide, easy.
They're in agreement.
So at first, my position was, early on, if the doctors are prescribing it and it's the best thing they can do, I think we're looking at, in the past 4 years, about 50,000 or so cases of cross-sex hormones for kids. So be it. Then we started seeing, like, the Tavistock scandal. We saw Finland, Denmark, Sweden start pulling this. The research coming out showed that it was not particularly effective. And then we also had multiple studies showing that desistance rates for those who did not take any, who did not receive intervention was actually upwards of 95%.
That's not a good, that desistance thing is not a good argument for not having trans care. If the desistance rate is high for people not on hormones, in a roundabout way, that actually probably shows the strength of the diagnostic process. It means that those kids probably should have never been on hormones, and they weren't, and a high number of them did desist. That's a good thing. A high desistance rate of people that aren't on hormones probably shows you've got a problem with your diagnostic process. That's why when you're talking about desistance rates or people that detransition, it's really important to look at people that have started the treatment process. My understanding is once kids have started, the desistance rate for that is like, I want to say around 2% or less based on the last thing that I saw. But yeah.
And then my position became, it probably is the appropriate thing for the legislature to say, we're not going to allow this anymore.
Okay, I just listed the American Journal of Pediatrics. That's incredibly reputable. Incredibly reputable. 94% of children continued care after age. Take a Netherlands study. This is Lancet. 98% continued hormone therapy and follow-up.
After what?
So you... No, but the other one's a 5-year study. This is just a secondary
after
one.
what point?
Well, no, so this is the issue, right? Those studies were based upon whether a child was placed on puberty blockers or not. When a child is placed on puberty blockers, they tend not to desist. When a child is left alone, they tend to desist. So,
yeah, but oh my God, Tim is reading that so incorrectly. Do you know, that's like saying, like, I can give you one of the highest predictors for dying of cancer in the United States. Probably one of the best things that map onto it is whether or not you've gotten radiation treatment and chemotherapy. Those two things are going to be highly predictive of whether or not you're going to die of cancer. But not because chemotherapy and radiation treatment cause cancer, but because people that have cancer are getting prescribed those things. So when you're saying that, like, well, kids that aren't prescribed drugs seem to desist, okay, that's good. They should have never been prescribed drugs, right? That's a good thing. What you need to do is you need to look at desistance rates or people that drop out of treatment of people that are pursuing those treatments. Now I'm not saying one way or another what should or shouldn't be happening or what the science says. Well, I gave my opinion earlier, what I believe the numbers were, that is very low. But like, that's what you need to be arguing, not people that didn't receive the treatment, did they desist or not? Because it's good that they didn't receive the treatment, that's the point. Eric says, Destiny, do you think there are limits to what schools should report to parents regarding what kids tell them? Not conditional limits. I normally would disclose X, but sometimes it results in abuse. In those cases, we don't. But categories like X, under no circumstances is a school obligated to say anything. Should obligations to disclose be universal and conditional, or are there some things that do not have to be disclosed? I don't know. This is an issue that I see both sides on, like, really well, since I'm a parent. Like, I could totally understand schools saying that as a policy, they don't want to report like sexual things to parents insofar as like a kid might be gay or a lesbian or trans or whatever because of potentiality for abuse, maybe, depending on circumstances. Like, I see the argument there. But on my end, as a parent, like, if I found out any of that was happening and my school didn't report it to me, my kid is getting pulled from that school and is never going back. Because I don't want random shit to be happening to my kid at a school that I have no control over that. As a parent, I want to be fully informed of all of that, 100%. For parents, keep in mind that, like, school is daycare, Why is my character like acting weird? School is daycare for your child, and you're entrusting teachers and the school system with a lot of care. What's happening here? Is there like a glitch in this map?
True. Raise my kid for me. Thank you.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I want to be informed of all the things that my kid is doing at school, you know? But, yeah. But I can see both sides of it. I don't know what the right answer is. Here's what I might say. This is what I might say. I might say that if schools have a policy to not disclose something, then that should just be very, very, very open. Like, as soon as you enroll a child in the school, they have like a very, like, and it's not like a thing that's buried in the fine print. They tell you, hey, just so you know, our policy on these issues is this. We don't normally do disclosures. Yeah, so maybe if it's like really front and center, like, gotta be okay with it, but.
So the issue is then, if according to 10 prospective follow-up studies from child and adolescents found desistance ranging from 61 to 90%, then the safety of the children would lean towards non-intervention.
Look, I'm go ahead. You can, again, we should
Okay,
probably
Bug Maniac
agree
Jeffrey.
to look at these
Magmar
kinds of
just
studies
kills
before
two.
we're going to pull them up for a debate, because what I'm pulling up and what I'm referencing is inherently reputable, and you can find any information.
Emma
that you
just
want on the
doesn't
internet.
understand
I am with
why
the
when Tim is
majority of
bringing up.
doctors on this.
Like, Emma's technically correct. She just doesn't understand how to maneuver in the argument for why Tim's point is it's correct.
And this is gonna be rock slide.
I mean, that's
totally
a stuff.
fine.
I don't know about that.
No, that is actually a fact. That is 100%.
Well, I've seen this movie before, so what's happening is you're referencing detransition under a system where they wouldn't be put
seen
on
his
the
movie
process
before.
necessarily, and
Yep.
then they would go through the process hormone. So everybody who would have desisted at the point of puberty, which is what you're referencing, is already excluded from her sample. So,
Right.
like,
Yes.
and I don't even think you would
Oh,
disagree
right.
with that. That once they're actually past the point of puberty, and they still think they're in the opposite body or whatever, and
Do you
they
think a therapist should snitch on their clients that are relevant relatives? No, that's like HIPAA. That's like protected information. No, of course not. What do you mean?
go through the process, there's a very low
Why did I
detransition rate.
just
But you're
click?
specifically talking about desistance.
Look,
and I remember
I'm
this
saying-
because
No,
this
this
happened
is
when you
what-
argue with the SERPs.
This is what it boils down to. I'm not a moralist. I don't have like the arrogance to believe.
Hold on, I'm so sorry. What is a moralist? What does that mean? Person who teaches or promotes morality. How can you do politics and not be? What does she mean when she says moralist? What does that mean?
That my
Why
personal
is Rob not
preferences
an
for how
account?
my life would be lived
Hello?
should be imposed on other people. I'm trying to make
Is his
a
name not
argument
Wobbuffet?
for a case for. I'm trying to make a case for a broad set of policies that are going to make sure people are as happy as they can possibly be and can live their life to the fullest. So if you want to impose your morality on people, it sounds like fundamentalism. For me, I'm in
come on,
favor
have
of
a real
my-
argument.
But if most
No,
But
I
hold
am
on.
having a real argument.
That's not an
You just
You're doing a ton of moral imposition. Moral imposition is almost unnecessary. Actually, it might by definition be a necessary precondition to any discussion of policy, right? For us to say, for when you implement a government policy, to precede that statement, you have to say the government ought to be doing something, which is almost necessarily a type of moral statement, or I think it is necessarily. Like if I say, for instance, we should have single-payer healthcare, you're making the moral statement
boom,
that, or
boom.
somewhere baked into that is a moral statement. The government ought to be in the business of helping citizens be happy, healthy, and
And then
have
this guy
good
goes
good
boom.
healthcare, right? That's why that policy exists. The policy is going to be downstream from any sort of like moral claim. You can't just make government policy without morals. That's just such a weird, or maybe I'm not understanding. That's such a weird like statement to make.
said your
I said,
morality
here's
is
a study.
Oh,
that
man.
Here's a study that shows desistance rates up to 95%. Hold on. Desistance rates are shown up to 95% with non-intervention. So then we would lean towards non-intervention. And you said you're a fundamentalist. You didn't make an
No,
argument. You made
earlier you talked about how your morality is what you want to dictate in terms of this policy.
Wait,
You see, this is what I was talking about with Sam.
Okay.
Right? The inability to grasp philosophical concepts. When I explained to you that you are opposed to parental rights because you're in favor of vaccine mandates, right? I don't think.
All right, give me 1 sec. I want to take a pee pee. Pee pee.
you can understand the duality of the statement you're making. Are you in favor of parental rights can go in one of two moral directions? You do have a moral stance.
I wasn't talking about
I
wasn't talking about parental rights. I was using that as a way to talk about your statement on parental rights. And I fully grasp concepts of morality.
And you want to impose that, then you too would be a fundamentalist, and you've made a nonsensical statement. If you want to make an argument about why me using this data is incorrect, I'm all ears.
Tim is more correct than Emma.
Want to tell me I'm a fundamentalist?
I haven't seen the data, so I can't.
Well, then don't make an argument about it if you don't know the data.
No, I do know the data. I use the American Journal of Pediatrics. I don't know the data that you just pulled up.
You did not look up desistance rates. You did not look up anything other than what fits your narrative.
Tim, what you just said is that you want your morality to dictate policy.
No, I didn't.
I want people to have freedom to
do
what
they
want.
That's just not true. I said that everyone's view on a question like parental rights is dictated by their morality. You do have one as well.
Tim should just own that, or I don't know if he doesn't understand it. Like, yeah, our morality is always going to precede government policy. It has to, by definition.
Will have a moral framework. You've told me that you're in favor of public health. That is a moral stance.
Yes.
So are you a fundamentalist? Do you want to impose your moral?
No, I talk about politics. I don't talk about things that are so abstract. I talk about...
Where did she go to college at? I'm so sorry. I thought she went to an Ivy League. I talk about politics. I don't talk about things that are so abstract. What do you mean? You can govern without deferring to morality? No, you can't. You might govern ignorantly and think that you're not deferring to morality, but of course, morality is going to precede any form of government. Because for government, you're literally compelling people to do things. I'm coming to you and I'm saying, give me your fucking money. I'm stealing your money. That's what taxes are. They're stealing money, right? But not really. Well, why is it not stealing money? How can I go into your house and take money from you without it being immoral, right? Well, because there's some other moral statement that's augmenting that theft to make it morally acceptable, right? Like, to say that the government ought to provide some services, to say that the government ought to be in the business of doing something, like there's some level of morality here that is obviously preceding, like that it's necessarily has to be the case. You can't do things like this without having some sort of like moral imposition on people. You're literally forcing them to do shit.
Favor of public health. That is a moral stance. So are you a fundamentalist? Do you want to impose your moral?
No, I talk about politics. I don't talk about things that are so abstract. I talk about
vaccine mandates. Tammy is a woman's name.
That's a moral position. Not a scientific one.
No, it is a public health position.
Well, it's sure. Your morality dictates that the government can impose a medication on people against their will.
Because I am trying to create a society.
That's a moral question.
No, because I'm trying to.
That's moral.
Sure, I think I am more moral.
Wait, you said you were not a moralist.
No, I'm not. I am dealing in politics, and politics can create outcomes that are moral or immoral, and I'm dealing in the ones that I think will create the most
so you're a moralist.
best outcome. No, moralism in the way that I was referencing it is one that falls back on notions of fundamentalism and
Does she, when she says moralist and she's opposed to it, is she just opposed to it because she associates with like hardcore religious people? Is that what she's saying? Like, does moralist, because she keeps saying this like fundamentalist word too. Does moralist to her just mean she doesn't want to be a moralist because it sounds like religious? Bro, why do I have like fucking 5 elites like stacked on top of each other? It sounds like she's pushing back against anything having to do with moralist or moralism because she's like associated with like religious conservatism or something.
Imposing morality that is individual to you on the rest of society.
I'm not talking about imposing morality.
I am talking about creating a society,
data that shows
creating a society that gives people the freedom that they.
Moralism.
No, that's politics.
You want to create a society that does
politics,
works towards a goal of your personal perspective.
What you are talking about is imposing your narrow set of ideas about how society should be. Or
based on the scientific research I pulled up.
No.
I literally pulled a study.
No, you want to restrict people's ability to do what they want to do with their bodies. That's what you want to do.
Do you think that people should cut their hands off?
I don't deal in abstract, ridiculous hypotheticals because I deal in reality. I cover politics.
So oh my god.
Female circumcision?
That doesn't happen in the
When
United
people
States.
say shit like that, it's just like...
No, you're wrong.
I feel like it's like a fucking... I don't know if it's like a sign of low IQ. I think it's kind of like a rude thing to say, but like it's like so dumb to say like You don't want to talk about like hypotheticals or whatever. Wait, what is it? Fuck, am I retarded? Is he even talking about hypotheticals? What are they even going on about?
Well,
I mean, there are very small amounts. I am not in
so
favor.
you're in favor of it?
I wouldn't.
I'm sorry, I need to go back.
So are you a fundamentalist? Do you want to impose
No, I talk
your
about
moral?
politics. I don't talk about things that are so abstract. I talk
Are you in
about
favor
what's
of
Wait, oh, she's saying morality is like really abstract? Is that what she's saying? Why? What is she talking about? You like have to get into moral. I mean, you don't have to like debate the morality of shit like all the fucking time. But yeah, I mean, like everything stems from it. I don't know. It's just like a dog shit conversation almost.
vaccine mandates or not?
Of course.
That's a moral position, not a scientific one.
No, it's
Yeah,
it is a
true.
public health position.
Well, it's sure. Your
Wait, what does
morality
that
dictates
mean?
that the government can impose a medication on people against their will.
Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to create a
That's a moral
society.
question.
No, because I'm trying to
That's
create.
moral.
Sure, I think I am more moral.
But you just said you weren't. You said you were not a moralist.
No, I'm not. I am dealing in politics, and politics can create outcomes that are moral or immoral, and I'm dealing in the ones that I think will create the most.
So you're a
the
moralist?
best outcome. No.
understand. What do you-
Moralism in the way that I was referencing it is one that falls back on notions of fundamentalism and
Does she, when she says moralist and she's opposed to it, is she just opposed to it because she associates with like hardcore religious people? Is that what she's saying? Like, does moralist, because she keeps saying this like fundamentalist word too. Does moralist to her just mean she doesn't want to be a moralist because it sounds like religious? Bro, why do I have like fucking 5 elites like stacked on top of each other? That, it sounds like she's pushing back
this guy
against
has-
anything having to do with moralist or moralist because she's like associated with like religious conservatism or something.
Because he's gonna use what should do soon.
imposing morality that is individual to you
I'm
on
not
the rest
talking
of
about
society.
imposing
I am
morality.
talking about
I'm talking about
creating a
data
society,
that shows
creating
children-
a society that gives people the freedom that they.
Moralism.
No, that's politics.
You want to
bro.
create a society that does a,
Oh, I still
a-
outspeed
a-
after
works
he
towards a
rock
goal
tunes
of
me, so it
your
doesn't matter.
personal perspective.
Okay, I just said Oko anyway.
What you are talking about is imposing your narrow set of ideas about how society
God.
should be, or
Based on the
how
scientific
things-
research I pulled up.
No.
Well, I literally pulled a study
No,
up.
you want to restrict people's ability to do what they want to do with their bodies. That's what you want to do.
Do you think
I don't
that people
believe
should
that.
cut their hands off?
I don't deal in.
I fucking hate arguments like that. It's just like so boring. It's such a boring way to like talk about the world or whatever. I don't have a fast electric type, so this trainer might be a little bit hard. This isn't even the trainer that I'm on. Hold on. Wait, is it Breeder David? Yeah, it is. No, this guy does not outspeed Ments.
Abstract, ridiculous hypotheticals because I deal in reality. I
Do you
cover
think
politics.
so? You're in favor of female circumcision?
That doesn't happen in the United States.
How much do you want that? How much do, no, you're wrong. It does happen.
There are
does,
very
but, like-
small amounts. I am not in
So
favor.
you're in favor of it?
I wouldn't.
If you want to restrict what people do with their own children, you're against parental rights?
Correct.
That's not the
Stupid
same
games.
thing.
What?
Is a doctor?
You want to talk about
looking
Dearborn,
over-
Michigan? I've
No,
actually
no.
gone there and done the research. I've actually done the boots on the ground journalism in this story. Okay? Yes.
Oh wow.
Yeah, right. Because female circumcision is a bad thing. We do not want these things to be happening, and even the parents were going to doctors to get it prescribed. There are limits. There's the famous story of the Kennedy. They got the Kennedy got it lobotomized because the doctors prescribed it. Just because there's current scientific research that leans one direction doesn't mean we move absolutely in one direction. What we have here is a very prominent set of studies, which we've referenced on the show numerous times, showing desistance rates for minors who do not receive intervention in terms of affirmation or gender sex change.
Here's like the question. So Sam Cedar kept referencing this. He said the majority report, he said multiple times they've got like researchers and like all this stuff. Like, why couldn't anybody have prepped her for this show? Like, why couldn't people have done the research and like prepped her on like, because I'm pretty sure like Tim Pool brings up like the same few studies over and over again. Although to be fair,
True.
when you go into Tim Pool, you don't really know what you're going to be debating. So it's easy for me to say that in retrospect, but maybe she just didn't know because it is impossible to.
That is, yeah, I think that's like kind of silly. Because, like, if you're going to be a debate lord and you're going to have people come on your show, you should have, like, topics prepped. I think that's, like, almost like a. I hate to say it, but I feel like it's almost like a tactic that, like, Tim does to, like, make his job a little bit easier for himself. This guy's personberry equipped, right? Okay. Well, because he's prepared for the topic. Oh, Mence is already out. Because this guy wants to follow me. Usually I have a fast electric type that just like outspeeds Mence. So... Because like Mence obviously is going to be our guy that kills Metacham. I think I just do this. Yeah, and we just kind of like pre-damage. Right? Like we're leading this. We remove this berry. I don't know. Get this guy down to like 80% health, pre-damage or whatever. There's no use in like specifically calcing every little fucking thing. But I do need 3 turns of this, right? Because we need to bait it that time. So then we're gonna need him to switch into something else. Probably switch into like Gyarados maybe? Gyarados never died. Or that's -1. Hold on. Damn. Yo, Metacham does way too much damage, bro. What the fuck? Yeah, I just realized that I need like a 3rd guy or whatever. Oh, what about Wob? Easy. And then Mence just kills them, like all 3 of them. So we 2 shots Togetic. What was it? It was like 147 or something. I'll just make sure we have like, the max repel on or whatever. Scizor, switch to this guy. He focus punches him. Can you hit multiple targets with counter? Because you didn't select like a thing right there.
To prep for every single possible thing that could come up. I wonder if she had a conversation, because that was my complaint about Temple Show. He doesn't tell you what you're going to talk about before you. God, no! I was in a dungeon! Is it going to reset all my progress? In before I'm dead somehow.
Is upwards of 95%, in which case science dictates we do not intervene. If you want to take the 5% chance that we then intervene in these children's lives, and that can result in even one kid being harmed, that sounds like an immoral action.
Now, these are extremely specific hypotheticals that you are maximizing in this current instance, and I am interested in creating a society that is that is yes, moral, but it's based on outcomes, not just.
That's what I just pulled up. Like, I mean, I can read to you again.
Right, but pull up the American Pediatrics
Oh my
study.
God! I think that whole dungeon just reset.
That up. If it is true that prescribing puberty blockers prevents people from hitting that point of puberty where they would decide, and largely they would decide to desist, right, when they hit the point of puberty, would you be in favor of removing that from the gender protocol? Because this only is talking about desistance at the point of puberty. So, like, what he's concerned about is that if you stop people from going through puberty, you stop the changes in their bodies and all that, and then they can't, like, rationally make that choice because they haven't hit that point in their development.
I don't have the kind of, I guess, arrogance, I would say, to
I asked you a hypothetical.
Right, but again, this is exactly what reactionary conservatives do.
You know, it's a red flag from...
Okay, hold on.
If you deal with hypotheticals, because when you actually deal with the practical reality and the outcomes that you're dealing with and that you're prescribing onto society, it creates an inherently unjust society.
So as the right-wing conservative Destiny said recently when he was debating the left-wing pro-lifers, it is a definite red flag when somebody is unwilling completely to engage with the hypothetical.
Oh, hey, that's me.
If you want to say why the hypothetical doesn't apply, that is totally fine.
No, because I want to talk about
for you to just like say,
reality.
"Oh, it's a hypothetical, I can't talk about it," as if you don't know what a thought experiment is, it's kind of odd.
Look, I've asked you. We have here. I literally just pulled up detransition Wikipedia. We pulled up this study that shows that without intervention, desistance rates are from 61 to 98%.
And here I have general acceptance of standards of care. The overwhelming weight of medical authority supports treatment of transgender patients with GnRH agonists and cross-sex hormones in appropriate circumstances. Organizations who have formally recognized this include American Academy of Pediatrics, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, American Academy of Family Physicians, American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, American College of Physicians, American Medical Association, American Pediatric Association, dozens and
Remember
dozens
when doctors
of the
said smoking was good for you? You're not citing science. You're citing government approval.
No, I'm not. I am citing
and that's fine.
What does that? What does the government have to do with it? These are medical organizations.
Okay, sure. Fair point. You're citing medical organizations, despite the fact that there have been numerous instances throughout history, in fact, basically all of them, where we've been like, hey, we were wrong about that. Like, maybe we shouldn't drink mercury if you get syphilis. But what I'm
but medical industries have also given us like antibiotics. Are you not going to take those if you get sick? Like, I mean,
referring to specifically is if there is no intervention of a trans child, desistance rates are from 61 to 98%, showing the majority of kids are better off not receiving.
No, look, I mean, you're on detransition Wikipedia. I just listed a list of dozens.
Again, he mentioned desistance, not detransition. This is like very important that we nail down what we're talking about.
Right. What I'm saying is, if you have a trans child,
yeah, we can just do the brain dead,
suffering
wobbly.
Gender identity disorder or dysphoria.
No reason not to.
And you do nothing.
Brain
There's
dead
a
alert.
61 to 98% chance
Sweet
they
kiss
age out
puts
of
you to
it
sleep.
and grow
Yeah.
up and are happy and fine.
That's made up.
It's literally right there. What are you talking about?
On Wikipedia.
At the point of
That's
No,
puberty.
I pulled up the NIH and you
Tim.
said you can pull up anything. Yeah, so here you go,
Tim,
NIH.gov.
Tim,
Here you go.
Tim.
No
Are you happy?
confusion.
Tim,
NIH.gov.
deal with what I just said about
medical
the level of
organizations-
medical organizations.
That's
You're saying that they're
fine.
all wrong and that you have some sort of like special knowledge that you can supersede their expertise.
No,
in
he's
this
not.
area.
You're cherry picking American
And you're making an appeal to
organizations.
authority.
I just first of all, I
Oh
just
my
cited one
God.
from the Netherlands, but American Academy of Pediatrics, American
Appeal to
Academy
authority.
of Child
Appeal
and
to authority. Appeal to authority. Keep doing
No,
it.
I mean,
But not even that.
I've got-
like,
Okay. Real quick. There's two ways to do a fallacious appeal to authority. One is appeal to a false authority. So for instance, if I say this medicine is good for you because this doctor said it was good, but that person is like a doctor of English, that would be a fallacious appeal to authority. Or this is a good investment and I know that because my uncle said so. That's a fallacious appeal to authority. Another fallacious appeal to authority, which is actually kind of right here for Tim to say. Another fallacious appeal to authority is saying, this organization says this, and then somebody says, well, I disagree with that for this reason. And then you're going, well, you're wrong because the organization said this. You could argue that that's a fallacious appeal to authority as well. You can't just appeal to the organization if Tim wants to argue about the studies. You've got to go a little bit more in depth than that. But
But I'm not a medical authority, and neither are you. So why
all
wouldn't
I
you
can
appeal
do
to
is
the
point to a
authority?
study and say, wow, if this study is true, I'm opposed to this, right?
But there's also all these European organizations that are getting rid of this specific practice that he's focusing on, which is the puberty blockers, and like for some reason they're not on your list.
No,
Oh.
we are properly
that one?
assessing
A shadow
when
ball, okay.
intervention is appropriate here. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
But why would they suspend in these better healthcare systems in Europe?
No,
Why
he
would
wants
they
to
suspend
double
this
edge.
specific practice that we're
I
arguing
mean, you
about?
listed Sweden and
Why does he even
and
have
just
that?
He listed
elected
a whole bunch of
far-right
them.
governments, but
Double edge is
stop.
like, does more damage.
Please stop. Far right in these places. First of all, pretty sure these changes went through before the prior elections. Secondly, far right does not
Congrats.
mean whatever the fuck you think it means in relation to the United States. Okay.
I mean,
But anyway,
these
like
can go
again, this is what I'm
for
interested in
rock
talking
slide?
about in terms of politics. I want to
Big
create a more
flinch.
equitable society for people.
Just
We
hit
should have
'em with it
socialized
again?
healthcare, Medicare for all. You should talk about that more on your program. You say you're in favor of it. I
talk about
haven't
it quite
really
a bit.
seen. I haven't
Look,
seen much.
When you guys cherry pick stuff to
No,
talk
no,
about
we should
music
talk
or
about
whatever, and,
ending
like,
child poverty. I mean, it's funny. You should talk about ending
but
child
you could
poverty.
have talked about my position on universal health care any one of these times. You never do. Why? It's not going to get traffic for you.
Well, I mean, you don't clip anything about universal health care. You should focus more
What are you
on it,
talking-
and then
what?
we would do, and then we would focus on it.
Because, like,
What we try to do
when are we gonna
is
be
to,
like, for
in
no
real
reason, let's just make
time-
a universal health care?
What we try to do in real time is correct.
Ooh, Hyperbeam EQ Shadow Ball on the slacking. Okay. Let me... Yeah, I think it's like these last couple kind of require brain. What the fuck? Why am I running over a cord? God. Get off of the floor. Fuck. Alright. Steelix. Let me just see what goes on in terms of the bait sheet. We can put the fucking
Right-wing lies, whether
talk
it's
about
you
abortion a
or
lot.
Dave Rubin or Steven Crowder. We do talk about abortion.
Hold on, I want water. I need water, please, please. shit, my friend's on. Ooh. Oh yeah, it's good fun. I want to play Overwatch. Oh, why is my phone battery so low? Okay. I finished these fucking trainers. Kingdra baits. Why is the bait slacking? Oh, because it sees Earthquake. And obviously nobody has any super effective move against Kingdra, because why would they ever have a dragon move equipped? So this guy wants to Hyper Beam. I think I go... You go to Aggron on the Hyper Beam. He has a turn to recharge, so you just click like Superpower or whatever. And then he wants to EQ, so you go to Mence. And then Mence just like kills from there. Oh, Silix is Quick Claw? No shot that matters. Yeah, even if you like Quick Claw crits with Earthquake, we're just gonna have Citrus on. And then it just still should be... Yeah, it'll still just bait Hyper Beam. And Aggron is just goated. Let me just make sure I have Citrus. And then Salamence will bait Executor. Uh-oh. Does this guy have AP? He does. That's fine. We just outspeed an Oko. It doesn't matter. Nobody's like setting up Sun for this guy, right? Mence Bates Executor. We kill the Executor. Mence Bates Blissey. Probably go to Hari. Yeah. And we will not use superpower. That is not a good idea. Way too much recoil damage from that. We can... Because he could use Ice Beam. TBH. Well, I want to, like, fake out into Vital Throw. So we'll have, like, Asper equipped. Wait, he uses Ice Beam against Salamence always, right? Well, not always. There's actually an okay chance he uses Thunder Wave, because we don't take any damage ever. Actually, no, he should, like, always Thunder Wave, now that I'm, like, thinking about it. Because Mence should be full health. I mean, theoretically, I could just equip Cherry, but, like, there's literally no reason to ever risk this. This is, like, a really stupid thing to risk. Crobat versus Aggron? Donphan? Donphan. I mean, I guess I could also use Ampharos. Yeah, Ampharos is better. Okay. Nurse Joy. Bedtime. We'll just use Ampharos on that guy. Yes. Wait. Yeah, because we're waiting for a little bit later to get the encounters. Okay, Hyper Beam. Oh my god, why the fuck did he Earthquake? Oh no, I'm so dumb. I forgot AI's discouraged to use Hyper Beam. Oh no, Harrison, holy shit. That could have been so bad. Fuck, I totally forgot about that. No, it has to see a kill. I totally forgot about that. That's so dumb. That was so obvious, too. Okay, he has Truant, though, so we don't die here. Oh my god, man. Harrison. No, that was literally just a 1 in 16 to die. Like, that wasn't even like a... That was straight up a 1 in 16. Because he would never use Hyper Beam there. AI only clicks Hyper Beam if it sees a kill. That was just like a never punished moment. Okay, fake out. He T-waves. Did he T-wave because he saw that I was faster last turn? Why did he T-wave? Was that just a... Oh, no, he just does like 50-50, right? That's probably that. Alright, well, never punished on the Aggron. That was not okay. Jesus. Alright, back to Destiny.
Abortion a lot.
Yeah.
I do.
What's my abortion position?
I'm not sure.
Why? Have you not watched any of the 8,000 segments we've done on it?
I do know that you called that 10-year-old case a hoax, a political hoax, if you want to
The political maneuvers around it to change the law was a hoax.
Yeah.
Sure. So, well, how do you not know my position on abortion? I mean, you watch the show. You watch at any point. You can see the arguments we have.
I don't have a ton of time to watch all
You
your
specifically covered his episode with the Sirs, where they talked about it in depth. So it's weird that you don't.
Well,
oh no, she's gonna say I didn't watch that. Just I've got researchers or producers that give me that.
Reiterate your abortion position for me, and I'll respond to it. Okay. In what way?
I think Roe v. Wade was the right decision.
Okay.
I think that life should be mandated, should be protected under the Constitution at the federal level, and that it probably does make sense for the Supreme Court to overturn Roe v. Wade, but that means Congress needs to codify it.
Okay, but that's not going to happen, and that's because we don't have
that's a different question.
Because we need filibuster reform. So I'm not
that,
really interested in process. I'm interested in outcomes as we
I
get
don't know
back
enough about
to
the
again,
filibuster.
I'm not interested in process, but you talk about politics. If I put twisting blades on two things, does like the better one override the worse one, or like is there even? It doesn't like stack, right? No, there's not.
differences that we clearly have here. I don't really care who imposes the right to abortion in this country. I just care that we have a right to abortion in this country, and we don't.
Well, right.
anymore.
Yeah, I think at first when Roe v. Wade was overturned, I thought that it was probably good it would go to legislation, because the Supreme Court arbitrarily setting law is probably dangerous. But however, since then, I've looked at it and said it's a 14th Amendment question, the right to life. And, you know, looking back on that now and understanding Roe v. Wade actually was a pretty good decision. I think now at this point, you'd need some kind of codification. I don't know how the Supreme Court's going to go back on it, but it's a political conversation, not a personal perspective on abortion. So my view is pre-viability, it's individual discretion. Post-viability, it's probably going to require some kind of...
he has rocks.
Depending on the circumstances.
Where do you draw the line of viability?
Wow,
Can the baby survive on its own?
Okay, well, 90% of
we did
abortions happen in the
that.
first trimester, which is the first 12
And then this
weeks.
is Ice Punch from
99%
yeah.
happen in the first 20 weeks. The rest that happen, the 1%.
99% of abortions happen in the first 20 weeks? Is that true?
Ice Punch from Electabuzz. Maybe just go like Gara and then
I just want to check that. Did she not say 90?
I think I pivot through Gara, go to
Wait, she said 99.
Wishcash.
Or did I miss?
12 weeks.
And then
99% happen in the first 20 weeks.
Wishcash Okos.
I thought it was like
Doom.
2% happened in third trimester. I guess 20 weeks is into the second trimester. It could be real.
The rest that happen, the 1% that you're talking about, which is overrepresented constantly for fear-mongering purposes, is the 1% that happen when the life of the mother is in danger or there's a issue with the fetus.
Well, there's no question.
So there's no need to parse and draw arbitrary lines, because what that does is it essentially, especially with rape and incest exemptions, which you speak about, it makes it seem like...
I'm not in favor of incest exemptions.
Okay, the one that we spoke about earlier, okay? The rape. I'm not even speaking
Flamethrower
about
is a
your
lot,
specific
bro.
opinion about
Jesus.
this. I'm talking generally about the notions of abortion. You can't have rape and incest exemptions because it takes so long to prove those cases that it would completely nullify the need for an abortion, because as the pregnancy is going along, you would be unable to perform the abortion in the time that it takes to prove that kind of stuff. So when that stuff is put into legislation, what it does is it waters down and makes the public seem like, oh, we're not.
Abortions by gestation.
Okay, this is just like boom. And then declaw. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it.
Go to this.
By 20 weeks, I would guess that it's about 1 to 1.5% of abortions are past 20 weeks. Oh, okay. Damn.
Not so barbaric. That's why we should not be intervening in what doctors and patients are doing.
Wait, did my game crash? Okay. Okay. Use the report ID. This probably just sounds like my system resources. I don't have like a debug log.
Dude, is such
just
a good
remember that
ability.
we're at 1 hour 21 minutes. Okay.
90% of abortions happen in the first trimester, which is the first 12 weeks.
So I usually do basically the exact same strategy on this Gentleman Walter trainer every fucking time. However, we do not have a dark type right now. So what are we doing on Espeon? Cowdops does not outspeed. Except how outspeeds, but it doesn't one hit. This is where Grobat would come in and be like, bro, if you just like had X scissors on Salamence, you would one hit and you wouldn't have to deal with this shit. Damn, bro, who the fuck is killing Espeon? Because we can't have this guy set up. Having this guy set up is like asking to just lose. Yeah, I mean, this Psychic is devastating. Wob seems cap. Wob is very cap. Golem? No. What's like, how high can I get this guy? 68 seems like a lot. But if we do like 65... Is that greedy? At what level does Zangoose outspeed? Like the problem is that like whoever comes in has to be able to take a Psychic and then Oko. Like and then outspeed an Oko. Like it's kind of wild. The expectations. You can't get a metal coat, right? I don't think so. I could just kind of YOLO Aggron at it. Because even, like, let's say he gets the drop. I'm not dead to Psychic next turn. If he goes Calm Mind, I'm not dead to crit next turn. But like we don't have speed is like the problem. This just feels like a really silly thing to get Sceptile to 68 4-man. Sceptile to 68 or Mence to 66. How often am I using Sceptile in Hideout? Oh, what about Gyarados? This guy's lefties. I think I can just do like Rage into Double Edge. Honestly, 66 on Ments isn't even bad. I think I'm usually like 65 for Pyre anyway. No, I can definitely just do Gyarados here though. Oh wait, no, this is like the same problem as Aggron. We'll just do 66 on Ments. It's fine. It's really not that big of a deal. Let me just double check that this is like the correct shit. Yeah, it always OHKOs. Okay. And then we are leading Hariyama, obviously. Let me double check the Nurse Joy. Hari versus Eevee, Gentleman Walter. We don't give a fuck what move this guy clicks. The Espeon, that is. Oh wait, he could substitute. We do not want... Yeah, we don't want substitute. Because he could... Well, no, Baton Bass wouldn't matter, right? Yeah, we should just pre-damage. It doesn't really harm. It doesn't hurt to pre-damage here. Okay, so we'll just be 195. $195. We want Cherry Berry on that guy. Keep that guy Citrus. And then I think... What does this bait? Oh, wait, we already have Ments out. This is going to be Jolteon. Jolteon, Wishcash. This guy probably is like heavily incentivized to click Baton Pass here. Just because he doesn't have any moves that actually attack, essentially. I think Flareon, I just use Kabutops on. Vaporeon is going to be Sceptile. Whoops. And then it would be like Tentacruel on Umbreon, right? Let me just like check if there's like some weird ranges or some shit. Wow, the adamant nature on the Umbreon. It's so useless. It's so bad. I don't think Sceptile Locos. No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. The biggest thing is that you outspeed, and the only guy who doesn't outspeed is Wishcash. So. Alright. That's fine. Yep, he's gonna switch AI. That's also fine. We outspeed, we Oko. Jolteon. Agility is also fine. He substitutes. See, he might baton pass. I'm surprised he hasn't. Yes, he's gonna do it here. That's fine. This guy. Jolteon. Okay. This guy's playing games. Jolteon again. I actually might outspeed an Oko. Like, there's no reason not to, right? Yeah, I do. Yeah, we don't care about static. Mean look. We don't care. We just toxic. And hang out, I think. Muddy Water can give us an accuracy drop, which is cool. Wow, we get the crit drop. That's wild. Alright, cool. Just to make sure that we have Repel on. I still haven't taught Fly to anybody, so we're gonna do that right here. Over Steel Wing. Okay. Let me pee, and then we'll do Rival 4. Alrighty. This guy is not Modest Nature. EQ, HP, Ghost, Iron Tail, Double Edge. Oh, why does it have Body Slam? McHawk? Yeah, I can just lead Wob here. I'm gonna copy T-Knob strategy. What does that bait? I think the only person with a super effective move is gonna be Nidoking. Lead Wob, click counter. Nidoking is Lonely, Earthquake, Shadow Ball, Poison Tail, Ice Beam. That is correct. So he wants to use either Poison Tail or Shadow Ball. He should actually never click Earthquake here, which is really good. Is there any world that like Wishcash? Can I just King Draw? Or is he gonna get owned by Poison Tail? Yeah, he gets owned by Poison Tail. Tenta shouldn't though, but Tenta doesn't kill. Tenta is kinda ass. Or at least this Tenta is kinda ass. Yeah, Zanger's gonna get owned by Poison Tail. This guy has literally done nothing so far this run, by the way. Like, he's been completely fucking useless. This might be a Donphan angle. Honestly, it's not even bad. Yeah, because he Ice Beams, we have Battle Armor. Like, we're not going to die to crit. We just get him to, like, 65 and pre-sleep and give him Citrus. And then it should be like Ampharos, right? Baits. Yeah, Bates Ampharos, HP Ice. We go to Cash. Do I give it Soft Sand? Does it matter? It probably doesn't. Meganium, he's going to Giga Drain, obviously. We're already level 66 here. Do I just risk this? If he gets +1, we kind of just lose. How about Fearow? What is Fearow looking like? Fearow is not looking good. Fearow's looking significantly worse. Jesus Christ, dude. Bro, why doesn't Fearow get Sky Attack? Like, what the fuck? Oh, this guy's thick fat. I forgot about that. Okay. Jesus. Not good. Not good. What about Sceptile? It baits Ancient Power. That's like not good. I need to be so high to 2-hit. Does Zangoose die that Giga Drain crit? Dude, what is happening? What is going on here? I think this is probably worth. This is probably good. I think this is actually like way more consistent than other options. Facade over Body Slam. Right. And so if this guy hits us with the Giga Drain crit, we just heal with the Citrus Berry, and so we should just be like fine. Yeah, I actually don't know about that. Can Zangoose chain kills? Like, can I like kill Blastoise or something like after this? Who comes in? It'll be Blaziken. Can I kill Blaziken? That's like really what matters here. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me, I feel like this should be Magmar to bait the Earthquake. Just in case things do go south, we'll do that. And then let me... We'll give everybody bedtime. We will wake this guy up. And we will burn slot 5. Okay, this guy has citrus facade. So we should be good here. Should I put the music on? Yeah, we can put the music on. I outspeed this guy, right? Yeah. Okay, it should be Earthquake. And the goose is loose. Easy. All right. So there should be no more trainer battles. For me to get the encounters that I want. Let me check out. Safari Zone. So, Oh god, I don't want to do the fucking Pokeblock bullshit right now. I might even just end it here and just like do encounters next stream or some shit. Yeah, because I gotta look into doing the Pokeblocks and all that. And it's just kind of cringe. One thing is, I think Lilycove is like, we're just gonna delay it. Because, is Jump Bluff okay for Hideout? Does that thing do anything? Because honestly, there's like an okay chance that I get like a grass type. I should at least get the other 2 encounters. We'll do that. We'll do that. So we'll bring Gyarados. We'll bring probably like Hariyama and Kabutops and Lantern. They'll bring Mence as well. Yeah, we definitely want guys who like don't die to grass moves. That's pretty important. So maybe I bring like do I bring something like Kingdra? Guys that don't die to grass moves. Because I have 3 guys that die to grass moves right now. There's actually a really good chance we encounter something that has a grass move. I think I put Kabutops away and grab... The problem is Execute's going to have Psychic, so I think Tentacruel's like not good. I would grab this guy. Maybe even Magneton instead of Kingdra, or instead of Hari? Probably instead of Hari. Probably get everybody to like 64 minimum. Let me grab Pokeblock case. Stantler, brother. The 5% Stantler. Unlucky. Okay, what does this guy have? Yeah, we get another normal type. This guy has double edge right now. E4 Stantler. He has Mega Horn and double edge. I think I can just go to like Magneton, right? Yeah, we can go to Magneton. And we click T-Wave. Ultra Ball. Okay. not very happy about that. Let's grab our Wobbuffet. Let's grab Aggron. Wobbuffet, Aggron. Why Golem? We like mostly want guys with high defense, I think. Wob is for the Abra. I mean, I'm not going to be very upset if I get Cubone and I don't catch it, you know. At the end of the day, it is just a Cubone. Also, Cubone should honestly be, like, really easy to catch, right? Give me a ghost, baby. It's Ghastly. Let's go. Okay. That means I can get a 122 encounter right now as well. Hold on, this guy has S-Ball. He's level 51. He has Sludge Bomb. He has Nightshade. Any Nightshade enjoyers in the chat? Any Nightshade enjoyers out there? T-Wave, Sludge Bomb, whatever. We're just gonna go to this guy. Oh my god, that's so much damage. Confused Ray is perfectly fine. Call it him. Let's see them stats, baby. Sassy. That's horrible. Oh no, he's 4-speed Sassy. We don't outspeed Latias. There's no way. Jesus Christ. It's Latias, right? Not Latios. Yeah, there's no possible way we ever outspeed that guy. I'm not even gonna import it into the calc. What is this guy? Dude, why are these stats so good? Actually, they're kind of mid. The speed is good. The attack is only 9 though. Okay, what's the Rat 122? I can't believe it's Sassy. What a meme. What a meme. Okay, I do not have Super Rod yet. The only thing I can do to actually get a Pokemon is Surf. And it's either Golduck, Golbat, or Pelipper. Golduck, Golbat, or Pelipper. Honestly, I think I just go for it right now. The Quillfish Super Rod is also just he just blows up, so it's whatever. I think I'll go for it right now. I think Golduck can actually be like an okay guy for Hideout. Literally just because he can fight the Demon Torkoal, and I'm not like risking Kingdra or some shit on it. Because I'm like so low on guys. Maybe that's chatting. I really don't know. Like, I feel like Firo can maybe take him. If Firo switches in on, like, S-Beam or something. But, Firo probably just dies to, like, Overheat or something. Is, like, the problem. I think I go for the Quillfish. Or not the Glowfish, the Golduck. If we don't get it, oh well. If we do, cool. This guy does have Psychic. So we will not be bringing Tenta. We will be bringing probably Dugong. It's probably good. This guy's going to be horrible for Crobat if Crobat comes in. Who's good for Crobat? Probably Kabutops is good for Crobat. Actually, I mean, Sceptile's not really good for anything, right? Oh, let me, store this guy. Oh, whoops. Ancient Power over Rock Slide. We do this. I mean, it's only Golbat. It's not like it's Crobat, you know. We get Golbat. Unlucky. What does this guy even have? Ooh, he's got Mean Look. Okay. Kabutops, I think, does the best out of anybody in the party here. Yeah, and he's just gonna Mean Look, like, immediately. Hey, I mean, it happens. It's another flying type. It is also a poison type. If it's Pog, it can be okay. It's also a dupe for Victory Road if I actually get there. Impish. 0 speed, 3 attack. Man, we are just getting... We're getting the guys today, man. Let me tell you. Absolute guy city. Ghost type for hideout is excellent. That will definitely help us a lot. It's just, you know. Does Fios have a nickname? No. These are everybody that needs a nickname. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna end stream.